Why, hello there, fellow rebels. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Whiskerwood. Episode 6, Rebelling Against the Fat Cat Crown. The charcoal furnace is getting built. Smokery is almost have all materials delivered. My miners are coming all the way over here to mine. In that case, I'm tempted to build more of a plank path, but I don't think I will. Whisker ship, I'm not going to actually do anything about that just yet. In the hopes that we'll... Oh, we have another home. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in... Strong shoulder engineer? No. I'm going to reroll this. Swift and healthy farmer, maybe. Warm core explorer is actually really good because your explorers are the ones that cut trees, and being warm core means that they don't need to be heated while cutting trees in the winter, which is really nice. And they're our 21st member. They're unnamed, so we'll do a giveaway for them. Giveaways there. Up that way, or whatever. Line must grow. Please. Done.
May we have better...
Housing worth it. Done. Filled those quests. I'm going to move the Snorer. Kadath, you are going to live in this Snore house. Done. And we've hit the 21 pop that we've been asked to do. So I'm going to refuse everyone just in principle for now. And the focus is going to shift from building houses. Eventually I want to get everyone underground. But the focus is going to shift towards fuel and complex food production. So getting the smokery going and then hiring someone to work in the charcoal furnace once I run out of fuel. Where are my farmers working? Farm, 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 fish, fish, smoke. I'm gonna move one of the fish into a smoke. Try to balance it. We can have another snore house there. Like a tree or something. Don't I have two more in the name? Let's look at the list. One. No, just the one. So if you're wondering, smoked fish is a more nutritious food source. It makes people happy. It also speeds them up work-wise and makes them walk faster. This is a part of the game mechanic that I've overlooked or skimmed by is the catalysts. In the demo, you don't really have access to any of the catalysts, but like if I had table salt, I could also make the smoked fish faster. And the same is true of scissors for the weaver, or ropes for the sawmill. And these are benefits that you're going to, unlock in the full game. Quantum, you're supposed to be in the smokehouse. Yeah. You're there. Mr. Smokery. You asked for it. Now you're going to work in a polluted environment. And if I go to the farming tool and open the pollution overlay, It actually doesn't look that polluted, but we'll check midday tomorrow when the Smokery is going full force. But yeah, there will be a pollution negative modifier in this area. So I kept it close to the warehouses, but far enough away from the bathing and dining that it shouldn't be a problem. Alright, that's another snore house. It's a Wishbringer. You're moving in. You can see why I don't admit a lot of people that have like special like loner or snoring, because they require a considerable amount of like extra consideration, which is cumbersome. Okay, the last person's named Lariel. Or mouse. Yay, I get to pay taxes today. Wow. Gold is too strong. So I did say that I was going to piss off the crown. So you can't send nothing. But what I'll do is I'll send them very little. A very partial shipment. And piss them off. As promised. I don't know if I'm going to be able to piss them off quite enough before end of stream to, like, antagonize them, but we'll see. Attempts will be made to make them real hate me. I like my cozy little underground. I think this here I'm going to delete and move here so my fires are more spread out. I think here and here is pretty good spots. I won't really know for sure until wintertime, but I suspect that to be the case. So how many more people live topside? We have got 2 more people topside? 3? Something? So I'll need more houses down here. So that row of flowers. Sorry, but destroy. Oh, it's not fully dug, is it? Nope. It's funny that the cats just like water and the mice are on the island. Yeah, maybe not by mistake. You know, gotta keep away from those nasty cats. Those fat cats that are, you know, bullying us around. Will everyone make it home? No. Scorpio. You don't even have a workplace, man. How did you not make it home? Actually, both of our builders didn't. Seems to be a common theme. God, 5 of them didn't. This is, I said at the start of the stream that you really need to cluster everything together densely. Until, of course, later on when you're not in demo and you get, like, railroads and stuff. So I think I'm just being penalized for having a colony not close to my central warehouse and shipping dock. I don't care. It is whatever. I don't think my farmers have used any fertilizer yet. Well, you know what? Yes, you won't be able to reach because this house is in the way. All right, I'm going to cancel that house. That's in a bad spot and nest it a little bit further back. Can it be moved? I don't think it can. I think it's a permanent edifice of your colony. Because there isn't like there isn't one you can build, and it doesn't have a. It can't be bulldozed. Neither of these can, whereas everything else you can hold a bulldoze. So, I think it was never intended to be shifted around, ever. Which is true of like games like Anno as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's stands to reason that it is an intended game mechanic. One of the mice in the ship had monarchist. Yeah, monarchist is loyal to the crown. I don't think that there is, at least not in the demo, there isn't a trait of the inverse, like an anarchist, or a anti-monarchist, or a whatever. Someone that wants independence from the crown. But I'm not really sure how that plays a role. Maybe they get unhappy if you are in low standing, I think is the way it works. But I intend to piss off the crown and to be in poor standing with them, so that we can, you know, get punished by our fat cat overlords. The good news is, smoked fish is, I'm gonna take raw fish off the menu going forward, so that we are eating smoked fish. And that way we have more raw fish to smoke, because the benefit of smoked fish is greater. If you're wondering about the diet preferences, explorers want hardtack and canned food. We can't produce canned food in the demo, so that's moot, and hardtack is only imported through supplies. The farmers want bread and pastries. Can't make either of those, so that's moot. The engineers want fish skewers and smoked fish, so the engineers are going to be particularly happy about their forced diet of smoked fish. And then the miners want mushroom stew and berry soup, neither of which I can accommodate. But they will still benefit from the blanket bonuses of smoked fish. So 14 of them ate smoked fish, which is giving them like a +5 mood, plus the speed bonus and all that. We'll go out with a bang? Yeah, that's what I intend. Pissing them off until they attack me. And it's really no different of a mechanic, albeit a little bit more violent, than what the pirates did, which is to use like 8 cannons to blow up random industries. That's basically how that works. Alright, bud. Here, have a little copper and flax. The claws are furious. Repeated failure to pay your debts is risking the solvency of your colony. If you do not make your next tax payments, you and your whiskers will be punished. Oh no, I said. And that's 2 days away. And there's a pirate blockade. Let's side with the pirates. I'll pay the pirates off. What are the symbols of the smoker? And so which ones. The Smoker is a farming guild, if that's what you're asking. Or if you're wondering about this, it's the charcoal furnace is disabled. It is a it's a workplace that I don't have running because I still have fuel. All right, Templeton. You're the last one to move into the Warren, I think. All right, let's make sure all of my above ground homes are removed. I think they are. And we have a little bit extra capacity down here. I think we have 2 more homes than we need. The other thing that I was interested in, because I know that this guy, or Kath, has not been... Let's do continue the overland route, but I'm also interested in digging a mining tunnel to the other island. It's going to be a lot of stone to excavate, and, like, probably cause problems of its own. But, I got nothing else going on right now, so I don't know if there's enough time to actually realize a project of that scope, but, I intend to attempt. So we're going to dig a path over to the other island underground. Clothing is invisible. So if you click on them, you can see woven cloaks as like a modifier. And there's other clothing types locked. So you'll see that there's a tailor that we don't have access to. Breathtaking surroundings. Man, I'm doing a good job. Passed by endless gardens and decor. Speaking of which, let's fancy it up a bit. I mean, why not, right? This is our Garden of Eden. We can have it look real pretty if we want. Ooh, crap. Alright, pirates. I have a lot of woven cloaks. You can take some woven cloaks off my hand. I have so much machinery, actually. No, take the machinery, because it's, like, filling my inventory. So we're overpaying you. You're welcome. They cackled themselves, and I'm like, haha, I got rid of that trash. Well, that's a win-win, then. I do have room for more Whisker ships, so let's get another... Let's get Tumbles. And that's it. So another raffle for Mr. Tumbles here. Up to Pop 22. Some of the warehouses still have capacity, which is good. And then Tumbles, I'll have you go work in the farm. I furloughed the farmer in lieu of a fish smoker, but that's where you're working now. So tomorrow the tax collector comes, and I don't think they're going to be particularly happy with my decisions to, you know, tell them to go flub themselves and pissing them off to the point where they attack us. Can't wait. So the industries that I've not yet done is a stone cutter. There's not a lot of use for stone unless you have a lot of stone pathways or you're making use of the Claw's Visage intimidating passing whiskers, which we already voted against, which is why I didn't bother building it. I also don't have a graveyard because I haven't killed anyone yet. And I think that's all that we haven't built. Technically, I haven't built the smaller warehouse, but like, why would I need to? And I haven't built every house type, but everyone lives in a nice house now. Of course, 4 people decided not to actually go to sleep, but I am 500 approval points over my over my max, so it's not like it's a problem. We have breathtaking surroundings. That's one of the easiest ways to build up a ton of approval. So if you're really struggling with approval, making it pretty is really a low cost, high reward, I will say. All right, tax collector arrives today. You guys ready for the punishment? I am. All right, here we go. Here is some copper and flax. Yep, that's what happens when you piss them off. They blew up my smokery, charcoal furnace, woodcutter, bathhouse, stairs, 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 stone dump. Wow, that's a good shot. As you can see, I don't think it relies upon line of sight because there was no way that yeah. What else did it blow up? A row house? Oh, yep. So it goes underground. Confirmed. Row house. And last but not least, the farm. Yep. That's what happens when you piss off the ground. And they would just keep doing it. You can piss them off by not paying your taxes or by refusing supply ships. So, you know, proceed at your own peril, in other words. And the annoying part is when it happens, hiring people back into the positions they were before is like not... I mean, it's annoying. But I knew it was coming. We did it on purpose. It is the same penalty system as the pirates, more or less. Oh, Quantum, you're no longer working the smokery. Let's fix this. And the last new guy is officially Portapane. What is the revenge for denying a supply ship if already hostile? Oh, well, if you take a look at the crown hostility, once you're hostile, right? It is not making much of a difference. So I'm already like max hostility, so it would just be them attacking me more. If you want to get smashed like that. I'm missing a farmer somewhere, I think. Or did I only have... Maybe I only had one person doing flax. Pretty much everything that broke got put back, minus that. The discordant wind chimes are, oof. So I think I'm at the Z level that I would need to be at for a subterranean path over to the other island. Not that I'll have time to do it. But there we go. At least it's laid out. In this case, it might make sense to have subterranean mining facilities and warehouses. So I'll excavate space for the mining to be done down there as well. And despite the fact that I got basically carpet bombed by the crown, I put everything back fast enough that, like, no one really cared. So you can absolutely take that tack with the crown if you want. Be flipping them the mouse bird, and just, you know, refusing to cooperate, like you do. Might want to go down one more. You're not wrong. That would be a little weird, wouldn't it? I'll go down to one more here. Another whisker. Reroll. I'll take... Actually... I don't know what we need. I have an explorer and a miner that are free. Put another miner out there. Oh, how long can you hold your breath, little mouse? So I mentioned previously that when you excavate adjacent to the ocean, you get a seawall, right? You get like this, it block out the sea. So I'm not really sure if it would like flood. With that said, there isn't going to be time for me to know, but I am sort of curious if you do dig up in a tunnel into the ocean, like what it probably ends up with just like wooden blockers so that you hold back the ocean. Wow, we are hitting gold down here. Goldenham Hills. It's also getting cold, so I'm going to light the fires of Moria. Down in the caves. Kath, you moved out again. I cannot, for the life of me, get you to live with your wife. It just... I think in this case, maybe your house blew up? No, your house didn't even blow up. You're just petulant. I just don't know how else to explain it. An uncanny ability to abandon... Alright, so I didn't mention this before, but if you haven't interacted with the Whisker ship, like if you haven't actually dismissed everyone, it will remind you at the end of the day. Like, oh, yo, you might want to... And it's a nice feature to reaffirm that you don't intend to use it. Your namesakes are hopeless. You're hopeless romantics, I guess. Well, maybe the goal for the very end of the stream is to connect to 2 islands? Oh, some people went hungry. That's a pretty good indicator that I need another farmer. Didn't the last person I added in was a farmer? In this case, I could have a farm on stilts above the plants below, like that, setting as a high priority, and add more farming capacity for the berry farmers. I think we have more plots than we have people. Alright. I am going to bribe the crown this time, making them happy. And you'll just see how fast the pendulum swings. We went from hostile to impatient because each block is like a 1 rep, so it's not very hard to get on the good side again. You know what's funny is in the heat map, we are bleeding heat up to the surface. So what do we want from you guys? Planks, stone and planks. Wow, that heat is just like, it's really emanating, isn't it? It is toasty down there. What is the temperature down there? It's for real. I don't know, but it's pretty hot. 55, which is pleasant. If you say so. If you say so. I am not sure I would agree though. That doesn't sound pleasant. That sounds horrible. There might be a meta because stairs are faster that you just like have stairs up, down, up, down, up, down, and to like stairmaster your way over to tiles. I don't quote me, but I think that honestly is a thing probably. Because you walked stairs faster than you walk paths. It would just look exceedingly stupid. I do believe that stone paths are just not in the demo, but are going to be better than that weird meta that I had just mentioned, so it's just a matter of time until they implement it. And we have our final raffle. So I'll go until the timer's up for the very last member of our little island society. And they are going to be a farmer as well. So here we go. Farm. Nope, no, just one farm. And this is to help the other farmers bolster their yields. As you can see from checking any of these farms, if you look at the stats that like this farmer's been harvesting berries, your farmers aren't bound to the land. There isn't like an assignment of like farm to land. They just farm, period. So in this case, you know, if you just add more farmers, you'll get more crops. You don't need to allocate more land unless they're out of tasks to do. Didn't do a very good job. Okay. The heat is a bit of an issue. It's a little nauseating. This chime might be like a central spot to accommodate everyone underground, sorta. So maybe that will cut down on the nauseating pollution. The other thing is the outside paths here should probably also be lit, and I am indeed paying attention to the amount of wood that I have available. So I'm gonna furlough 2 of my saw workers and instead employ them, even though it's out of their some of their work. Employ them as woodcutters to get more logs, because as we head into the winter, we're going to need more logs. If I was to go further beyond the timer, planting trees along the hillsides or really in the open areas would be wise, so that I could replace the used, you know, the used, you know, timber, because it won't replace itself. It's really easy to plant trees. It's not really any extra effort. And we can even go and do that here like this. A 24 tree right there. Perfect. Hey, Belle. Thank you for the gifted subs. And good luck to everyone that's now going to be eligible for the raffle up and coming in just a minute. So the subterranean path here. I don't think I have the height allowance for a for storage yet. I would need to mine these 4 out. But the intention for that was to move our mining camps down there. So that there's less of a commute. So there's one of them. Here's the other. And I did mention wanting to connect the 2 islands with a land bridge at the last task, so hopefully we get the materials delivered. We're almost there. So yeah, it's entirely possible and plausible to like merge islands if you want. I mean, the game really just sandboxes as much as you want to sandbox it, which is kind of fun. I love the flexibility. I think it's great. And then we have these hanging gardens, which are really living up to its name. So let's be friendly to the bees. This will be planters with hanging gardens underneath. You guys wanted min-max beauty? Here we are, min-maxing beauty to the nth degree. Let's say something gifted people. Yeah, it's up to them if they want to or not. And it goes to Fred Jones, who is not part of that gift. Fred Jones, like a proper mouse name. Ooh, that negative, man. Nauseating pollution still hit me pretty hard. Which is funny, because they're going to want the heat. So here's the heat map. It gets most of the homes, just 1 campfire, because they're pretty densely packed. Because the campfire is a sphere, the more you can like layer your houses, the more benefit you can get from 1 fire. And to fulfill my my stream campaign promises, we will connect these islands before I'm done. So they're delivering the 2 stone required for this, I think. 1 of the 2 stone? Come on, mice. Do it. Something else that I really like about this game that I haven't mentioned is the terrain generation. It can be varied a lot. So if you zoom all the way out, you can see that there is maybe the intention to have like trade between islands and things like that. I'm not really sure. I don't want to. But like, you could definitely settle islands like this one. A very vertical stack. And to have like a excavated colony out of a mountainside if you want. Where arable terrain is at a premium. And you, in order to max it out, you really have to go in the mountain. And that could feel and play very differently than something flat and open like I have here. So there's just a lot of flexibility for replayability, and that was also true of like Timberborn. I referenced this in the about, which is that this game plays very similar to Timberborn in its gameplay mechanics of stacking houses, and it doesn't obviously have the same sort of water mechanics, but you know, has a tax mechanic instead. But there you go. Winter 1766. This is where I'm going to leave off for Yoda Fort. Thank you for tuning in to Whiskerwood, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow mice kind.